that he is a performer. Do you know what I mean? You see it in the showmanship, the way he expresses combat. So for you to tell me that he sings or plays guitar or writes rhymes or whatever it is, it's no surprise, because how you express yourself in combat is an expression of your individuality. And he is a performer in the way he fights, so it makes sense that he's a performer outside of the cage as well.
Well, as someone who has done both, played in bands and music and competed in MMA, like, what do you think some of the comparisons there are?
There are elements. To go out and allow yourself to be free is key. And also, the more people are watching you when you're a performer, that is a good thing. When you're fighting, sometimes you can feel that pressure. They call it the spotlight effect. All these people looking at me makes it harder to perform. Well, if you have a career as a performer, it becomes a good thing instead of a pressure thing.
And that's an interesting thing where you're able to take pressure and rather than let it crush you, you let it actually lift you up. And, for people at home, that is a tough thing to be able to manage. So we're going to hand you over to Tom for our official fight announcement.
When fight number 6 is in the lightweight division and scheduled 3 rounds of 5 minutes. Fighting out of the blue corner, representing Moldavia. He stands in at 175 centimeters tall, 70 kilograms, ladies and gentlemen. He has a professional record of 10 fights, 6 victories and 4 defeats. Tudor! Dermenji! His opponent in the red corner stands in at 178 centimeters tall, 70 kilograms, 4 fights on his record, 3 victories and 1 defeat. He's from Belgium, the Zulu warrior, Oki Bolaji! The referee in this fight, who is scheduled 3 rounds of 5 minutes, is Daniel Sharifi.
So we have Oki in the orange and Dermenji in the black. Boys, I am excited. I'm getting tingles. This is going to be an absolute banger. I can feel it.
Yeah, and Dermenji is a very tough fighter to prepare for on short notice. Dermenji has a sense of what he's facing, but Oki may not have a sense of what he's facing. It's going to be an interesting one, man.
I guess, is that one of those, I guess it's a double-edged sword sometimes coming into a fight like this on such short notice?
Yeah. I mean, it's a disadvantage in that you weren't prepared, but it's a disadvantage for him. He wasn't preparing for you either. And you see, Dermenji's obviously in killer shape, so it's not like he was sitting on the couch eating bonbons. He was training, and he knows exactly what the goal is. Now, that's just your old school sprawl, which really isn't a high-level technique. It's the most basic response in the game of wrestling. But basics can work, man. Oki just drove his own hips back and drove Dermenji's face towards the mat.
Yeah, and the speed he managed to do that there as well was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And the timing.
The response was beautiful, really beautiful. Because it was a deep, penetrating shot, and it was an even better response. And again, the idea of the sprawl is a very rudimentary response, but you don't need to be complicated. When you do it well, it works.
Yeah, you just need to look at someone like Roger Gracie and how he managed to just combine basic techniques.
Yep.
There's a reason why they're the basics, because they work.
You put the fun back in the fundamentals.
And we can see so far.
God, it's good.
Oki just looks so relaxed in there.
He's got a tough opponent, but he's having a very good first minute and a half.
And remember, everyone viewing at home, that this is one of the lightweight semi-finals. So whoever goes through this, whoever wins this fight, goes to the final and the chance of winning that LFL belt. Another stuff takedown there.
Yep, and again, fundamentals. Get control of the chin or the head or the crossface and drive your hips back. Really good stuff. It doesn't have to be rocket surgery. Sometimes it's just well-executed fundamentals.
So if you put yourself now in Dermenji's situation, he's gone for 2 big takedown attempts and both of them have been stuffed. Is this something you just need to keep on trying to hit it, or do you need to make a tactical adjustment?
It's a tough one, and that decision is going to really shape how you fight. But he is throwing punches. He landed a straight right, just a sort of, a initiated random straight right, and that worked. And sometimes when you've sort of instigated a few takedowns, those punches are a little more available. You see a little redness around the nose, and he touched it. Oh, great choice.
And again and shot for another takedown and stuffed again. That is 0-3.
Yep, and it is fundamentals, it's hard work and preparation, and confidence in what he's doing. Those are not automatic. He's starting to stop the penetration, and then Dermenji pushes even further, a second effort and a third effort, and he keeps confidently defending.
So we can see at the minute in the fight, Robin, that Oki has been holding this like position and just constantly pushing Dermenji back. What's he doing to provide these sort of like threats to Oki?
Yeah. Watch the small footwork. So Dermenji will take big steps, and watch Oki will take very small adjustments. Just little. And if you picture a car and you picture the headlights and how they spread, he's just keeping him in his headlights. He's just with small steps, he's shoehorning him into the space he wants him in. He's pushing him, bird dogging him.
And then what would be Oki's plan when he gets his back against the cage? To try and stop movement?
Yeah, so when you pressure against the cage, he threw that low kick and then that punch, as you pressure someone against the cage and they can no longer go back, they will only go to their left, and then you'll throw your right weapons, or they'll go to their right and you'll throw your left weapons. And it becomes very simple, like a cat playing with a ball, batting him into the middle.
So you effectively remove a dimension from the fighter that you have. Yeah, precisely. So you put them on a 2D plane where they have to move one way or the other, and you've got easily usable weapons in those situations.
And you're leading them into your weapons. It's a real fundamental of fighting. You take away the depth, and then, like you said, there's 2D planes. Well put.
And how do you find Oki's work with his hands here? It seems like he's very...
He's looked real mature. He looked great at LFL too, really did. But he looks really mature. And, that's great. We can say this all night long. One punch behind the ear, on the jaw, at the temple, and it can change the whole thing. Because you can see Dermenji's very dangerous still. But Oki, it's not just his footwork and his tactics, it's his vision. He's seeing and feeling it all. Now, that's perfectly done. And look immediately to his feet. So the one he didn't defend, he got right back to his feet.
And that's it. So what's the psychological advantage there of like just springing up so fast for a takedown?
It's just the...
Oh, and that is the end of the first